Hello everyone, my name is Holly and welcome back, and I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be showing you a stack of books that I would like to read in August. I know I've mentioned I'm trying to stay away from making TBRs, but I have a really good idea on what I want to read. So even if this video is really short because I only have a few books here, at least it's content for you, and I get to talk to you guys more, which I love. So I have very big plot development happening in my life, and that is I am moving. My blood pressure just increased tenfold. This is a very positive move, don't worry. I've gotten comments like, did you and Darren break up? No, we've been together for over 13 years. He stuck with me. Anyways, I'm going to be talking about that more, probably in an unhaul video that will be up very soon. So if it's not already up, then you probably already know everything that's going on. But if not, wait for that video. In fact, the day this video goes up, it'll be move-in day for us. So I have chosen 4 books here that I would love to get to in August. Only 4 to keep my sanity, a little bit healthy, and it's truly a grab bag mix of genres. I'm clearly trying to make TBRs work for me again because I love filming them, but I am leaving it open for me to mood read as well, so we are trying our darndest, and I am throwing every genre at the wall this month and just hoping something sticks. I have a big fantasy series that I'll be starting, a thriller, a sci-fi, just a little bit of everything, and I can't pin down exactly what it is I feel like reading, so I gave myself a broad selection, a buffet of genres. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this TBR. So even though I am moving with very short notice, I do have a priority read this month. Folks, it is happening. I will finally be reading Theft of Swords. This little chunker of a book. This is quite a cult classic. It came out many years ago. It has definitely carved out a name for itself in the world of fantasy, and I'm finally going to see what all the hype is about. It's quite intimidating because of the love and hype that surrounds it. It's the first book to an adult fantasy series. It was originally self-published, actually, as a total of 6 books, and then it was picked up by Orbit, my one true love, and they made the series a bind-up. So this is technically the first 2 books in the series. If I enjoy this, of course, I'll get the next 2 bind-ups. But anyways, this story sounds exactly like something I'm going to love. It's about 2 famous thieves in this world, and they get hired mysteriously to do a last-minute gig to basically steal a sword, and it almost sounds too good to be true, and that's because, of course, it is. They get framed for a much bigger crime, so the story probably takes off from there with a lot of shenanigans. What I really hope to get out of the story is, of course, a new fantasy and even author to become absolutely obsessed with, which is pretty easy for me to do because there is another series by this author. Actually, it's the series that takes place hundreds of years after this one. It's actually behind me right here. Age of Myth, that's what it's called. So I own way too many books by this author that I haven't read, and we're fixing that. But I really hope this is full of humor and wit. I can't wait to meet these characters I've heard so much about. It's a very long book, I think 600 pages, so I am interested to see how long it takes me to finish. I don't know if it'll be the first book I read in August, but it's definitely going to be started at least. I think this is going to be a great book to read while in a new, unfamiliar place. Okay, so even though I love me a good, dark, brutal fantasy, because of the stressful change of home, I want something light and warm. So I have The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, which comes out in August. Listen, I know this is a romance. Ewy, gag, I don't care. I want to read this, and I'm going to enjoy it. I want to be very open-minded about it, especially since I was able to cover reveal this on my Instagram a few months ago, so I kind of feel obligated to at least give it a try. It's an enemies to lovers trope where Heart and Mercy begin exchanging anonymous letters without realizing they are corresponding with their number 1 enemy, basically. And there's a lot of fantasy elements in the mix too, like I believe Heart hunts zombies or something weird like that, which is definitely going to be my favorite side of the story. So I think the fact that it is a fantasy romance but a bit on the morbid side is tickling my fancy even more. The premise intrigues me so much. It mentions, like I said, zombies, lost souls, talking animals, and someone mentioned it has a Wild West vibe to it. Like, where the hell does that come in? I want to know. And that is like what I'm running to because Red Country by Joe Abercrombie made me fall in love with Wild West stories, so here I am. I really need to read more like Western fantasy. Because I got a little bit of a hidden love for it. But you have to promise me you cannot be mad at me if I read it and hate it, because I'm going to give you my honest review. Oh my gosh, I despise comments that like where they complain you didn't like a book because it wasn't in the genre you typically read. Like, reading out of my comfort zone is perfectly fine to do. That's not going to change anything if the writing is bad and the plot is all over the place or pacing is off and maybe the romance is bad. Like, you don't see me complaining when romance readers read fantasy and hate it. Genre gatekeepers like grind my freaking gears. Okay, anyways, that was an unfiltered rant. This is a pretty long book, actually, which surprises me because normally romance-focused stories are shorter, but maybe the fantasy elements will be allowed time to shine with that page length, and I'm very interested in meeting these characters. Okay, so this next book I just got in the mail today, and as soon as I saw it, it totally influenced this TBR, and was like, yep, we're reading you. And that is The Daughter of Dr Moreau. This is set in the 1800s, and it's basically a retelling of the island of Dr Moreau. It's supposed to be like if Frankenstein, Animal Farm, and Bridgerton all had a baby, which sounds kind of incredible. This is by Sylvia Marina Garcia, and she always does such an amazing job of creating an immersive setting that I just always fly through her books. I've only read 3 of them so far. This will be number 4, and they are all so different from one another. Like, she is a genre bending wizard, but they're all always like cohesive with one another, and I expect I'm going to love this one. I actually had a different book in this spot, and I was like, sorry, this one's gonna take your place, and here we are. It was Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey, and I still really want to read that, but this one kind of looked a little bit tastier for me. And the 4th book that I really want to read in August is Ymir. This book has been staring me in the face since I got it, so I am finally diving in. The first time I read the synopsis, I thought it sounded so freaking cool. It's a Beowulf retelling, but with a sci-fi twist, and you don't have to know anything about Beowulf to enjoy the story, which is always great, but this is supposed to be dark and gritty and takes place on a frozen planet where our main character Jorvik returns to after being gone for years, and he's pulled into like a revolution and has some like unfinished business left to deal with. He has a brother who betrayed him. I love like frozen environments a lot, and I'm just so interested in seeing how like this Beowulf retelling intermixes with like a sci-fi, a dark far future tale of vengeance, betrayal, brotherhood, and revolution among the stars. You have me hook, line, and sinker. So I know some of you might be shocked that Babel isn't on this list, but it comes out closer to the end of the month, and I want to savor every second of that book, so it'll probably bleed into September. We will see how busy I get in August, how stressful I am maybe. So yeah, I'm trying to make this August TBR as manageable as possible and as enjoyable, so we'll see if I get to babble. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what books that you want to get to in August, because I would love to know, and until we meet again, happy reading.